So here we have the croppers as shown in my video the other week to do with the consumer unit replacement. I mentioned that I'd bought a budget set of croppers to kind of see if they were, worthwhile getting. I'd had a few apprentices asking, and I've asked other guests on the podcast for kind of tool recommendations. And obviously when you're in an apprenticeship, money is tight, and you're looking to get the gear to do your job in the most cost-effective way you can. So this is what this is all about. I've got a set of these from Amazon. Obviously these are existing, that's my own personal choice. I picked these out. I've had them a while, they've been through hundreds of cuts, and I've got to say they are incredible. I really do like them, but obviously they come with a price tag. And these are Amazon specials, so these two came as a pair in a kit, so they were around £10 for both together, which is an absolute bargain when you think about exactly what you're getting. These were £10 on their own, and I want to demonstrate today exactly what each one can do. And I'll start with the weir ones because they're the ones I'm most comfortable with. I always say it's 90% in the person and 10% in the tool, and I think that's true with a lot of things. But you'll see here with this, so this is the 10mm cable, cuts through that easy as anything. The handles feel comfortable. They're also VDE, so last line of defence. We shouldn't be working on any live conductors anyway, we know that, but if a mistake happens, these are your last line of defence. So I would always recommend people get VDE tools. But you'll see here, really simple to strip, and there is a knack to doing it that you get with experience. Some people don't like stripping with croppers just because you can leave marks on the conductor, but if I get in out of shot enough on the other things, I might be able to get it to focus if I'm clever enough. Let's have a look. There we go. And you can see there's no marks on there at all. I've clean cut that, and that just comes from experience. You have to practice with a tool. And yeah, that's the weir ones. So again, really simple cut, and I'll show you that there. They've got the serrated front on, so it looks like they've been cut into and blunted, but they're not. They've just got a serrated cutting edge, and these are still really sharp. You can slice your finger open on that if you so chose to. Operate with a real smooth motion, and again they're about 40 quid or so, so you're going to have the price tag to warrant that extra bit of quality. I will say, having used a fair amount of croppers over the years, these ones are my favourite ones, the best ones I've ever used. They're 160mm, so they are on the shorter side, and again that's just personal preference. If I was cutting bigger conductors more often, these wouldn't really cut the mustard. Anything over 25mm, you're going to need a bigger set of croppers if you want to be going through it, but for anything smaller works, these are ideal, very comfortable. So I like those ones. We'll jump onto these now. So these are Yato or Yato, however you say it, and they are the YT 1967, which hopefully doesn't mean that they were manufactured in 1967. They're not VDE rated, but there is sort of 3 layers of insulation on there. So quite how they perform under voltage, I wouldn't like to speculate, but assume not very well. So these are for when you're absolutely 100% certain that you are totally safe and you've done your own safe isolation, proved dead, and you're happy to carry out the work, because these are not VDE insulated. And I know it shouldn't make a difference, but we have these VDE tools available to us for a reason, so bear that in mind. But anyway, I'll give these a cut. These are 220mm, so they're slightly bigger, as you'll have seen in the video at the start, and they cut really nice. So they cut the conductor clean. I find them slightly more awkward to use than the smaller ones, just because of force of habit, I think. And yeah, they're just a bit more, I was just going to say clumsy, but that's not the right word. And you'll see there, again, there's no marks on the conductor, and there's just a knack of doing it. And I'm not familiar with using these. I've probably been through maybe 50 cuts with them just to test them out. And I guess it's not a tool that I'm familiar with. That 90% I was on about for the end product is probably more on me than the actual croppers themselves. But yeah, they're really nice to cut with. They do produce a nice clean strip. And again, this is 10mm cable, and it's just going through it like it's, there's no effort whatsoever. And that's the difference with your side cutters and your croppers. So with side cutters, you're going to struggle going through a conductor of this size. It will still cut it, but it's not as easy. And certainly when you're trying to strip bigger conductors with side cutters, it makes a bit more of a hard job of it in my experience. I always prefer croppers, but there are those who don't like to see them used for stripping, and that's fine. It is 90% on the operator, is my own belief. I'm comfortable using them. I know I don't score the cable in a conductor, so I'm good with that one. These ones are the Katsu ones, and again these are the bigger ones, so because I'm not used to the size, you know, it's going to be not as if I was more practiced with it, I would get a better result, I am sure of that. But you see, again, cuts really nice. These are about £5 on their own, so as I said, I got them in as a pair for £10. They're the same size as these ones, so they were £10 on their own. Should actually show you the cutting face of these actually. So these are still nice and sharp. As I say, I've been through maybe 30-50 cuts and strips with them, just messing about on site and on my desk to see how they perform. I'm going to put them through some longer term use and I'll report back as well. But for £10, you know, there's nothing particularly wrong with those. These, like I say, about £5 on their own. Again, just a basic, you know, bit of comfort on the handles rather than anything of insulating property. So make sure you're working completely dead with these if you're cutting into cables. They do have a CE mark on them, but whether that's China Electric or an actual CE certification mark, I wouldn't like to say. But again, you can strip and cut with them. They've got a nice sharp cutting face on, and see away again, nice clean cut. And bear in mind, I am at the back of a camera trying to look through the screen doing all of this because I've got a right setup. You wouldn't believe how I'm set up trying to record this, but I'm doing the best I can to demonstrate the tool. And yeah, nice clean cutting edge. If I show that close up again, you can see it's nice and sharp. There's no dulling of the blades, and as I say, 30-50 cuts. I've tried to give them a good bit of time on each job, just so they can have a bit of comparison really. And I haven't abused them in any way. I've used them to just do the normal cuts you would on copper cable. I've not been trying to cut through steel wire armourage, for example, as some people use these kind of things. You will soon knacker the blade on any tool if you don't use it in the right way. So be careful that you're not trying to cut something. You'll often see reviews and complaints on places like Amazon where, you know, they say, oh, the cutting face was ruined after one cut. And it's like, yes mate, but that's because you went through a 3-course, like 16mm steel wire armour cable with them. Of course you're going to ruin them. So only use them for appropriate use. These ones are the same as the other ones, so Katsu, however you say it. Again, the CE mark. I wouldn't like to say if that's actual proper CE mark or China Electric. These are 160mm, so again, I'm more familiar with this size of tool. It's my go-to option with the Weir one, as we said, Weha, and that's produced another nice clean cut. And again, that's 90% on the operator, 10% on the tool. That's not an actual official thing, by the way, that's just my opinion. And you'll see that as they all come back into shop, we can run through them. And again, these are my favourites, I have to say. But we'll have a quick talk through again. Just show the ease of use. You probably can tell in the footage that I'm finding them a lot nicer to use, and that could just be because I'm used to them. You know, I use these lots, so you get a feel for the tool, yeah, that's maybe more what that is. But they all do the job in basic terms. They all cut cable, they all strip, they're all still sharp, they're nice enough to work with. My own personal preference is the smaller sets. Again, that's just me. Some people are going to like the bigger ones. You can get bigger ones still, and that depends on the size of cabling you're cutting. It's worthwhile having tools available for any task you might face. But, you know, day to day, I use these more than anything. And yeah, going through it again, these are about £5 each, £10-ish for the set. And that's a good one. As we were talking about, you know, what you might have to cut into, this kind of covers all those bases because you get both. And for the money, you can't knock it. You know, it's not a bad tool, I've got to be honest. The reviews on Amazon seem pretty decent, so this is people who've had them for a while and put them to use. They're not slagging them off and slating them. Sort of soon gets badly marked up on there if it's rubbish, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and try it over a few more weeks and months and report back again. These, out of the three in the cheaper range, these were £10 on their own. I've got to say they do feel slightly better and easier to use. So out of the three, I would choose these ones. But again, bearing in mind, if money is a driving factor, these are £5 each, they're £10 each. And then just to put all of that in perspective, these are between 30 and 40 quid, depending, as that's the Weir ones, depending on what deal's on at the moment and where you get them from. Speaking personally, I think it's worth the extra money because I use croppers all of the time. It's probably the most used tool I have in my kit, and I want them to feel nice, easy to use, and have that peace of mind in the back of my brain that they are VDE rated, and in the event that I do something stupid or an accident, a mistake happens, because it can, that I have that last line of protection. So that's why I like those. And again, I've used the CK croppers. They're fantastic as well. Klein have a great set of croppers. I think they've got a new set of croppers out soon, which I need to get my hands on and give a try so I can report back on those ones. And again, I think the CK ones are sort of 15, 20 quid-ish. Klein, about the same kind of money. You know, they all perform the task in my experience. But if you are, you know, on a budget and you're wanting to get yourself a set of croppers and get practice in using them for cutting and stripping, then nothing wrong with these. You know, I would have no problem using them as an apprentice or using them right now. They've not caused me any aggravation out on site, and I hope that little chat through the croppers and demonstrating them cutting some 10mm cable has been of interest. If not, doesn't really matter. I've just got loads of offcuts now to chuck in the Christmas scrap pile and save up to buy myself a PS5 if they're ever available. Be a nice thing, wouldn't it? But yeah, otherwise, hope you enjoyed that little run through. And yeah, I will catch you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If there's any other tools you'd like to see reviewed, let me know. I've got access to quite a few, and I will happily put a video together to share on YouTube. Thanks for watching.